it's all set up and ready to go. I'm gonna cut across this line basically. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brent Ruiz, and in this video, I'm going to be continuing work on the 458 Challenge Evo build. So the plan for today is to get the mesh grills fabricated and onto the front bumper. So that's why I am actually in the AMG right now. I'm on the way to the hardware store because I need to find some mesh wire cutters as well as get the epoxy glue that I'm going to use to attach the mesh onto the front bumper. After that, I will be removing the washer fluid tank from the front area of the car to make way for the new front bumper, because I figured out that I do actually need to remove that. So I also want to show you guys the new Speciale hood that just came in yesterday. I have already unboxed it, but I want to do a test fitting for that new hood, see how it's gonna fit, see if it's gonna look good. Once I have that Speciale hood installed, I want to go ahead and put on the front bumper with the new mesh grills that I installed today. And once that new front bumper is on, I'm gonna put the front splitter on again as well, because with that washer fluid tank out of the way, I can finally, I think, properly fit that front bumper. There should not be anything in the way of it anymore. So the goal for today is to at least do a test fitting of those three things together, because I want to see how that front end complete is gonna look, and I think it's gonna look pretty awesome. All right, we're back at Lowe's, and I think I found what I need. Cutting tools section. It's something like these aviation snips, I guess. Something like this looks close enough, so we're just gonna go with this, 20 bucks. It's probably heavier duty for what I need, but might as well get something that I can use other things for, so we're gonna go with this. Now we're looking for some epoxy. Really need something as easy to use as possible, and I think this JB Weld clear weld, something that dries clear as well. I think this is gonna be the one. It has tons of uses. I don't think I need anything too crazy, but this should do the trick. So I'm gonna go ahead with this. All right guys, I think I got everything. I'm gonna head home and start to work on these mesh grills. By the way, let me know if you guys want to see more videos of this car, the AMG. This is a C63S. It is definitely a really good daily driver, and I'm happy to have it. So let me know if you guys want to see more of this car on the channel. I think I'll probably start making more videos with this car anyway once the 458 build is done, because I'm gonna need more content. So it has actually a really good stock exhaust for being stock. I mean, it sounds pretty cool on the inside. It's definitely not loud enough, but I'm really not sure I should make this car louder than it is, being that it is my daily driver. So, but you do get some nice pops on the overrun, like right now. There it is. All right, just got back home, got the goods. I got the snippers, the wire mesh cutters right here. I got the epoxy glue. I got a brush to help spread this stuff. Got a razor blade just for general purposes. I think I have everything I need to get started on the mesh grills, but I am looking at something that looks pretty awesome right now. Let me just show you what it came in. Can you guys guess? Obviously, I have unboxed it already. It actually took a while to unbox everything. As you can see, there's a big mess here. Anyway, inside that box was the Speciale hood, which I've kind of just laid it on top of the of the bonnet there. As you can see, the stock hood is still attached to the car. But I am going to remove that today and attach this thing just to see how everything fits, see if there's going to be any problems. But just seeing it on the car right there, just this angle itself looks pretty sick. I'm pretty eager to see how this hood is going to look with the bumper as well as the front splitter. So there's no more time to waste. Let's get to work right now. We got the mesh grills to install. We got the washer fluid tank to remove. And then we got the hood to install as well. So let's get this stuff going right now. But I need to make some food. I'm actually really, really hungry. I'm gonna be doing a lot of work today. I need to energize myself. I love these Brozzy Bites. They're so good. Have any of you guys tried these? Okay, got my piece of mesh right here. So upon further inspection of the OEM mesh grills, they have more of a vertical design to them. So I'm gonna have to cut this piece of mesh this way instead of like horizontal, because that matches up a lot better. But luckily enough, this piece is just wide enough to accommodate for the widest piece that I have to cut for these three holes. Oh, I think my Brozzy Bites already. I can smell them and they smell really good. Energy is served. All right, I'm gonna use these in conjunction with the work to keep me going. Just kidding, I know it's not that much work, but those things are really good. All right, so I'm just going to eyeball this so I can have something easier to work with for the outline. I got the 3 pieces of mesh cut, the initial pieces at least. So we have 2 of this size for either side of the bumper, and then the center, the smaller one right here, which the cavallino goes on. So basically what I'm gonna do, I'm just going to butt this piece up against the intake hole here. Then I use a marker like this to make an outline to cut around and hopefully make it a very, very good fit. And then from there, just epoxy it on and it should be good to go. I have the outline done. I'm just gonna start from the bottom up so I don't have to cut anything at the bottom, just to make it a little bit easier. Now I'm just gonna cut a little bit outside of the outline, just to give me a little bit of leeway, because I'd rather have excess instead of not enough. Right, so that's what we have. It looks pretty good. Let's go match it up to the bumper and see how that looks. Hopefully I didn't totally screw this up, but it looks, just eyeballing it, I think I did a pretty good job. Nearly perfect, lines up really well there. Yes, I really just wanted to make sure that I would give myself enough room, enough mesh for it to touch the top of the place that I'm going to glue it right there. Definitely think I did a good job on that. So I'm gonna replicate this for those other 2 pieces. And after that, we should be ready to mix the epoxy and glue it onto the bumper. It takes about an hour to set. So while it does, I will be working on removing the washer fluid tank from the car, as well as possibly installing that Speciale hood, at least test fitting it to see how it's gonna look, or to see if it even fits right, because it might need some adjustment. It definitely needs at least a bunch of sanding from what I've seen so far. So yeah, we'll see how good of a fit it is. Okay, so we got the cutouts done. They look pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how they came out. I did a test fitting already, and well, I don't think I could really do any better than that. So yeah, let's move this stuff into the garage right now and then get the glue mixed. And then after that, I can finally install these grills, see how everything looks, just make sure everything looks as OEM as possible. And after that, we'll move on to the washer fluid tank. All right, I forgot, I have to move all of this packaging for the Speciale hood out of the way, because that's where I'm gonna put the front bumper to work on it. Let's do that real quick, and then we can get back to work. Good to go. Okay guys, so we got everything cleaned up. We got the bumper, we got the mesh grills ready to go. But before I do anything, I'm going to clean off the surfaces here, make sure it's all clean with some rubbing alcohol or degreaser. And then, ready to mix this stuff up. JB Weld epoxy. Pretty sure that's gonna be strong enough to hold this in place, but yeah, I've never actually done anything like that before, so hopefully I do a good enough job. I've got the epoxy here. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I guess I'm just gonna make some beads out of it and just lay them around the inlay here. Lay little beads all around. Hopefully that's a good strategy, because I have no idea what I'm doing right now. Hopefully this works without any major issues. After this dries, I put some pretty thick beads on here, but I'm not sure it's really sinking into the mesh enough. But I do have it lined up pretty well, so I guess I just need to hold it here until it sticks. It's supposed to set in 5 minutes, so I'm gonna be here a while.
One eternity later.
All right, got everything done. I did have to use some duct tape to hold everything in place while this stuff dries. It's supposed to take like an hour for everything to fully cure. So I'm gonna leave the duct tape on there. Hopefully everything dries strong enough, because I really was not sure when I was like holding it down. Not sure it's gonna hold properly, but if this fails, I can always just use the pop rivet solution. I didn't really want to go that route because I would have to buy the pop rivet gun and all the hardware and whatnot, and possibly drill some bigger holes over the ones that are already on there. So that's the reason for that, but hopefully this works out. We'll know very soon. While it does dry, I'm gonna turn the bumper around and just see how everything looks, because that is pretty much the final look with the mesh grills installed. All right, I'm putting the bumper down. Hopefully it looks good. All right, here we go. Ooh, oh yeah, that's gonna work. Oh man, That looks actually really close to the OEM grill. It's not exact, but it'll definitely work. Really happy with how that turned out. And guys, that is how you save 2,900 bucks on mesh grills. Buying the sheet of mesh yourself versus buying these mesh grills from Ferrari, I saved 2,900 bucks. And I think really this is like the only non-OEM part, the mesh grill, out of this entire build. So, we're like 99% authentic. But hey, if it saves me 2,900 bucks, I'm a pretty happy camper. Okay, with that out of the way, we're on to the next task at hand. I need to remove this washer fluid tank. I've already gotten it pretty loose. There's just something that's blocking it from the top side here. No screws or anything, I'd already removed them all. So what I need to do is remove this bonnet storage tank thing, tub, whatever you wanna call it, to gain access to the inside of this area. But before I get to work on that, let's take a look at the Speciale hood once again, since it's laying here on the floor. It looks really cool. I think it's gonna look awesome on the car. Just a few things to note. It definitely needs some sanding still. It's been primered, but still needs some work. Definitely right here, you can even see how bad that is. This mesh has to go black, of course. I think after a nice sanding job, this thing's gonna be ready to have the wrap put onto it. Now, I think what we're gonna do with that Speciale hood, we're gonna make two different versions of the wrap, I think, for the two different hoods and see what looks better, because the new wrap design is really visual in nature and it has lots of elements. And I'm worried that some of those elements might be lost with that nostril area on the new Speciale hood. Obviously, on the stock hood, it's completely flat all the way around. So if you have some visual wrap design, it's gonna look a lot cleaner on there. But that being said, just the style of this thing looks a lot more race car. So yeah, totally leaning towards this. Anyway, onto the task at hand, removing this tub. I've already removed like all the screws here and stuff, but I do also have to remove all of this stuff around the top edge of it. So that means I have to remove this entire cowl. So I'm gonna do that right now. And then I should be able to remove this entire thing. I finally found what's holding everything up. You can't actually see it until you get in here on top of it. There's a screw right here, obviously. There we go. Oh wow, look what I found in my suspension. Starbucks. So the whole thing is pretty much loose. I think I should just be able to lift this up. Oh, something's stuck. Crap, what's stuck? Oh my God. Darn it. Why does something always have to get stuck? Is it actually this cord? Yeah, it's this cord. Okay. How did I disconnect this thing? God. All right, we're almost there, guys. I just have to disconnect this hood release latch dealio. Right there, that's what I need to remove. As you can see, I can move it like that. There was a little like bracket on the end of it, which I just removed with this thing. I don't know where it went. It's somewhere under the car, I guess, but I'll look for it shortly. But yeah, now that that's removed, I think I can go ahead and remove this thing. Yep, there it is. It's completely loose now. By the way, this is pretty funny, that illustration of like escaping a Ferrari trunk. Good job, Ferrari. I think I should be able to completely remove this thing now, unless there's any other surprises. All right, got a new plan, because taking the tub out, I don't think is gonna help me now that I've gotten underneath and kind of like, I just got under here and pushed up and looking at what kind of clearance it gives me on this washer fluid tank. It's just not helping me as much as I really thought it would. So yeah, new plan. Right now, I'm gonna get rid of this black foam part and see if that helps me out at all. Yep, that's not helping me whatsoever. All right, that sucks. I can see the tank more though, which is great. It's getting messy. All right, so I removed this black foam bumper thing, whatever that is, and that didn't help at all. Only thing that did for me is just reveal this huge metal thing that's, well, definitely in the way of this. So I'm going to try to brute force this thing out, see if that helps out at all, and yeah, wish me luck. Brute force, sometimes you just gotta do it, you know? Nope, that's not working out. Maybe if I go from this angle, let's see what that does. Nope. Dang, am I gonna have to cut this thing? Dude, I think I might have to cut this thing, literally. All right, guys, this was an epic fail. I do admit it. I cannot take this thing out for the life of me. Basically, after looking under with the tub out with this thing lifted out, I have to remove this entire like coolant pipe thing or whatever that is, because this entire tube, that pipe right there, it goes all the way across and the tank is on top of it. It's like embedded top and bottom of it. So I have to remove this entire thing to get this stupid tank out. I'm not really sure I want to mess with like any of that stuff. So I have considered actually just like going to buy like a Sawzall and like chopping this thing off. I'm still considering that, but I might just leave it for California Motorsports to take care of because the deadline is quickly approaching. I don't have much time with this car here, so I tried. I gave it my all. If I had a saw right now, I would probably just try to cut it, but I don't even have a saw. Anyway, this thing is definitely getting deleted. If I'm considering like cutting this thing off right now, well, you can pretty much get a good idea of how much I don't need the washer fluid feature on my car. So while the washer fluid tank does have maybe another few days left of life before it gets cut out, I am going to remove this hood right now and try to test fit that new Speciale hood because I'm pretty sure it's gonna look awesome, but I do need to make sure that it fits properly. Slide number one, let's do this. These are like super hard to come off because there's paint on top of them and it doesn't even fit my socket properly, so I have to use this wrench manually. It kind of sucks, but. Good, all right. Okay, so that was a pain, but I got these things loose on both sides. I just removed the hood. That's what a 458 looks like without the hood, by the way, guys. I did actually have to cut the washer fluid line right here. I'm not gonna deal with any more of this BS from this washer fluid line. So yeah, that thing is dead in the water. But yeah, I'm gonna bring over the Speciale hood and see how everything lines up. Let's see how this thing fits. All right, so the screws line up. That's good. So we got another fail. Man, lots of fails today. We got the Speciale hood onto the car. It's on the original like strut supports or whatever. Now the producer of this hood did not use the same size bolts that come on the OEM one. So I'm pretty much screwed in terms of hardware because now the OEM nuts and washers don't fit properly. But I was able to at least bring it all the way down so it kind of closes and so we can see how it looks at least. Now, just the way that the hood is sitting right now, and like it's not secured, it's not, I think the strut support on this side is still like raised up a bit. So it's not sitting properly, but there might need to be some body shop work. Well, there definitely needs to be some body shop work just to match everything up with the panel gap there. On this side, it's the same. I mean, a lot of this is just because it's not actually on the car properly. But yeah, I think that's gonna look really, really cool on this car combined with the new front bumper and the front splitter. So yeah, a lot of fails today, guys, but I wasn't expecting anything less considering I am the person that's trying to do a lot of this work. I was expecting to run into some issues eventually, and today was definitely that day. So I'm gonna get some rest for tonight. But the video is not over, guys. Don't leave. I'm gonna be back in a couple seconds when it's tomorrow. All right, back at it again. What's up, guys? So it's the next day, and after many nightmares about not being able to remove that stupid washer fluid tank, I am on an absolute mission today, guys. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get that thing out today. And you know what? I'm done playing games. I'm never gonna use this washer fluid tank in my entire life again. So you know what? I'm just gonna cut the freaking thing out. I'm headed to the hardware store right now to buy Sawzall. Mr. Washer Fluid Tank, you are going to die today. It led a good life. Well, not really too much of a useful life for me, but it led a good life. But today is its last day on this earth. So yeah, that is my final verdict. I'm gonna head to the hardware store right now. We'll continue when I'm back home. Okay, so I got a DeWalt reciprocating saw, AKA a Sawzall. I just got the cheapest one, and I got DeWalt because I already had the batteries from the other tools that I have right here. It's all set up and ready to go. Never have operated one of these in my life, but it seems pretty straightforward. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut across this line basically, so this entire tank comes off. And then the pieces that are left above this, like behind this part, I'll be able to remove them once I lift the tub up right here. So that's the plan. Hopefully it goes well. So once and for all, I think we can say goodbye to the washer fluid tank. And in case I get any flack from anyone for cutting up my car and removing this thing, I honestly have never ever used it in my over 2 years of ownership of this car. This is a race car build, guys, so it makes sense to just get rid of stuff like this that race cars don't use anyway. Hey, race cars, all about the weight savings, right? Getting rid of this tank, especially when it was like filled up all the way up here, it's gonna save a lot of weight. All right, let's get this thing done. Here goes nothing. Just making sure that I'm not like cutting anything else that I shouldn't be cutting, because that would be bad. There we go. Okay, so this side is completely cut now, as you can see. That was kind of annoying because my batteries are low, but eventually got it done. I just spilled the washer fluid all over myself. All right, guys, well, I got it off, but kind of forgot there was still fluid in there, so yeah. But the operation looks like it was a success. Looks like I didn't really cut anything else that I was not meant to, so that's always a good thing. Once I clean this mess up, I just have to remove these hoses and whatnot, disconnect all that, and then, well, rest in pieces, washer fluid tank. We can finally say our final goodbyes. With that thing finally off the car, as you can see here, we're good to go. That front bumper should not have any more issues with fitting properly. Thanks to the Sawzall for an easy job. Okay, I got the foam piece back in place right here, as you can see. Quick change of plans though. I really want to see how this front end is gonna look complete, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video. That was the whole plan for this video in the first place. I'm now gonna go ahead and put that newly refinished carbon fiber front splitter on, and then I'm going to put the front bumper on, and then I'm gonna put the Speciale hood on and see how everything looks as one whole package. And since the video is already probably pretty long, I'm gonna hold off on the rear bumper removal until another video. But speaking about that, I actually need to make some calls to the race team that's going to install the wing, because I'm not sure if it's really gonna be helpful for me to remove the rear bumper, since they're gonna have to remove that entire part anyway when they're installing that rear wing. But for now, to wrap up the video, I'm gonna go ahead and put everything in place, those 3 major items, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna look pretty sick. I'm gonna use this tub again to help support its weight while I get in there and install it. Let's just try to line this up a little bit. Get my hardware, which I did organize myself, and I made some hefty bags, labeling them. Okay, here's a front splitter. I am working with some semblance of organization. I just got done tightening everything up. I didn't put all the bolts in. I just wanted to put enough in just to hold it in place so it's in position for purposes of this test fitting of the new front end. So that by itself looks pretty awesome, but now it's time for the ultimate test, fitting and making sure that the front bumper fits properly now that I've taken off the washer fluid tank. That's literally the reason I removed it, just so this can fit into place properly. So this is, for all intents and purposes, the moment of truth. All right, making sure all this stuff lines up, and that looks absolutely perfect. So I am putting some pressure right now on it, but that's how it should be when everything's bolted up. Just to check the fitment there, look at that. Let's check the other side. All of this is still good. Let's check this fender. Perfect, look at that. Holy moly. Okay, this is really good. Let's see how this front end looks though. Yes, 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 yes. Look at that. Look at that. I'm so happy the way it's turning out, guys. As I expected, removing that washer fluid tank was the key to have this front bumper properly fit onto the car in conjunction with that awesome front splitter. So everything is looking really good. Everything's lining up as expected, and I am a very happy camper right now. So I'm gonna bring over that Speciale hood that's over there behind the car and just overlay it on top of the bonnet here, just to see kind of how everything's gonna look when it's all put together. Boom! There it is! Oh my God, holy moly. That looks so freaking good. From this angle, it kind of looks like a great white shark about to kill you. I'm so happy how this is turning out. Just imagine when all of this stuff is actually properly installed on the car with that new wrap too. Oh my God, guys, holy crap. Once everything is like properly secured, this lip is gonna come out more because this part of the bumper is gonna go back like that. So the lip is gonna come out more, but just seeing how everything lines up, I'm so happy. Nothing has to be modified. This has been a really fun process. Cutting off that washer fluid tank today was pretty satisfying, but I'm glad that it wasn't for nothing, because now that it's gone, this front bumper fits perfectly. With this test fitting complete, I'm so happy that we're gonna be able to move on to the next step, get this car to all the shops that it needs to get to make this build finally done. It's been a while, but it's gonna be worth it, guys. It's gonna be worth it, I promise you. So I think that's gonna be it for this video, guys. In literally like less than a week from now, this car is going to be dropped off at the first shop. It's gonna make its rounds at all the different shops where it needs to get some work done. California Motorsports for the wrap and some other cosmetic stuff. The race team for all the final checkups and the wing installation. Oh my God, I cannot wait for that. And even when everything is already done on the build, there's gonna be some other stuff where I'll need the help of other shops to kind of make this build even crazier. So more on that very soon. But guys, if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Until next time, guys, have a great one, and I'll see you guys very soon. Deuces!